This is Boston Chris with another great episode of the ETX ROCKS Show.
Louise here.
Descript.
Featuring all genres and styles of entertainment.
And coming to the ETX ROCKS.
Let's hear it from Louise, please.
From the unheralded and unheard to the legends and beyond.
Out of the box with ETX ROCKS.
It's awesome.
We keep them coming.
$5, that's pocket change.
Well, hey, y'all, this is Hayley McDaniel. Are y'all ready for this?
ETX ROCKS Show is the greatest show of all time, okay?
We are ETX ROCKS.
The ETX ROCKS Show is the best show of all time, say? The other shows, you're good, you're real good. As long as we're around, you'll be second best, say?
Cut.
Howdy, folks. This is Aaron Watson. Thank you for tuning in to the ETX ROCKS Show.
I've been sitting here staring at the wall, kinda hoping you might call. Must have known that I'm alone, might as well pick up the phone. I don't love you, but I don't have to, and we got nothing better to do. You only call me when you're drunk. I only answer when I'm lonely. It's always sometime late at night. You can't get me off your mind. Whatever bar you're in is closing. I know I'm no good for you. You know you're no good for me. But lucky us, we both need a little company. You only call me when you're drunk. I only answer when I'm lonely. Ain't no crime in killing time. I'll kill yours if you kill mine. One day I'll hit ignore and I won't need you anymore. Till then we'll pretend we're a little more than friends. Right now that's how it is. You only call me when you're drunk. I only answer when I'm lonely. It's always sometime late at night. You can't get me off your mind. Whatever bar you're in is closing. I know I'm no good for you. You know you're no good for me. But lucky us, we both need a little company. You only call me when you're drunk. I only answer when I'm lonely. You got your reasons why. I guess that I got mine. Sometimes it just feels right. You only call me when you're drunk. I only answer when I'm lonely. It's always sometime late at night. You can't get me off your mind. Whatever bar you're in is closing. I know I'm no good for you. You know you're no good for me. But lucky us, we both need a little company. You only call me when you're drunk. I only answer when I'm lonely. You only call me when you're drunk. I only answer when I'm lonely.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another great episode of the ETX ROCKS Show. Guys, this is probably going to be a Hayley's Country Tuesday episode. Of course, I'm not Hayley McDaniel, but Hayley is back and forth between Dallas and Nashville a lot. I fill in for her from time to time. And we are talking to an artist out of Nashville, Tennessee. She's actually signed to Curb Records. We're talking to Miss Rachel Holder today. Rachel, are you there?
Yes, I am here.
So Rachel has been a singer-songwriter for most of her life. What are you, 22 years old now, Rachel?
Yes, I'm 23.
Okay, 23, and you've pretty much been a singer-songwriter for well over 10 years. I guess you got started pretty early on, huh?
Yes, I was. I feel like I was singing before I could talk, and that's exactly what my mama says. And I was singing full-out videos in the kitchen, and I was 2 years old of Karen Peck, and I grew up on gospel music, and in church, singing at any talent shows I could be at in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and that's my hometown. And I just, I grew up there and I had a passion for it. And then I entered a contest when I was 10 years old, and I was like, well, shoot, maybe I have something, because I won it out of 4,000 people. And then I moved to Pigeon Forge to do about 800 shows there when I was 13, 14, and 15. And then I started booking myself around the country. I knew that I had to, I had to get myself in front of large audiences to get my name out there, and to get discovered and all that good stuff. So I started booking myself around the country at like the Lakers games, the UT Vols games, anywhere that I could sing the national anthem. I was there, Dallas Cowboys games. And after that, I got introduced by Chuck Howard to Wilbur Rhymes, and we all went through like an artist development type thing. And we did 5 sides down in Tyler, Texas. And Wilbur said, hey, I've got a good relationship with Mike Curb, and I think that you got what it takes, blah, blah, blah. So he sent it to Mike one night, and Mike the next day replied, I want to sign that girl myself. So it's been a great ride since then, and I'm just so blessed that the Lord has given me this opportunity.
That's awesome. And being an Eastern Tennessee girl, does that mean you had that Dolly Parton influence early on as well?
Absolutely. She is the biggest influence in my career, and I like to say a joke. You can't ever get bigger than Dolly, so that's a big influence to have when you're in country music. So, but definitely Dolly, because I watched not only her be an artist and be successful as an artist by growing up in Pigeon Forge, I saw her give back to the community so much, and she's still giving, and especially with the fires that recently just happened. I mean, she's got a golden heart, and you just can't literally get bigger than Dolly.
Right, she's definitely someone to look up to, not only musically, but as a character as well. She's a high character woman. She always has been.
Absolutely.
So, you mentioned doing like 800 shows when you were a teenager. Now, reading your biography, now these were like Broadway style shows, right?
Yes. We had 2 shows a day, one at 3 p.m. and one at 8 p.m. And we'd have a little break in between, and it was a 2-hour show. It was like a Broadway country music show. And, I learned a lot of live experience, what to do when the mic goes out, with the band and stuff. And you can't buy experience, so I'm so glad to have that opportunity to see what actually goes on stage and stuff.
And so, I mean, other than, the technical aspect of how things work, how did the music and performing that many shows that quickly, did that kind of instill into you a different kind of work ethic?
Absolutely. My dad has had a big influence on my life, and my mom and dad, are still together, but thankfully I had the parents that would split time and sacrifice their marriage to drive me to Pigeon Forge, live up there with me, and drive me back to, see my family. And my dad's always taught me, if you have a great work ethic and, you work hard for your money and know the value of a dollar, and if it's really something you want, go after it with its fullest. Don't half butt it, But he's been a big influence on my career, and I'm just so glad to have a mentor like that in my life to show me that, hey, hard work will get you where you want to go, for sure.
Yeah, and I think there's a big misnomer out there, especially in the music business, that a lot of people think certain successes are just going to be handed to you, and that's just not how it works.
Exactly. I totally agree.
So, I'm reading about you, and when you're 15 years old, I think more than anything, this will tell people out there who Rachel Holder is. Rachel attended a Vince Gill concert in her hometown of Chattanooga with her parents, and I guess in between songs, you boldly asked Vince Gill if you could come up on stage and sing a duet. I would love to hear that story.
Yes, well, it was one night we were at, the banquet. He was doing the memorial for I can't exactly tell you what the title of the concert was, but I can tell you it was a Vince Gill concert. Well, I rudely interrupted the man while he was singing. Well, he wasn't singing. He was in between transitioning into songs, and I was in the second row, and I was 17 years old, and I looked at my mom and dad, and I said, Mom, Dad, I'm getting on stage with him, whether y'all like it or not. They were like, please don't embarrass us, Rachel, please don't. And so, I quietly raised my hand and said, Mr. Vince, and he goes, what would you like? And at first I bet he was thinking, like, is this some drunk lady just yelling at me? And I was like, no, I'm just a 17-year-old, But it was funny because he goes, well, what you want, darling, or something like that. And I go, I would like to sing a song with you. And I said Oklahoma Swing, and so I got up there, and he didn't exactly know what to expect. And so we sang it together, and at the end of it, I think he applauded me, and he said, I think you did Reba proud. And I said, I wouldn't go that far because, Reba McEntire's Reba McEntire, but it was just cool to see that. And a few years later, it was a cool experience. I got to play in the City of Hope celebrity softball game, and Vince was in it. It was his last year, and he remembered me and all that good stuff, and he saved me from an out on third base. So it's really cool to see that people actually do pay attention like that and do remember you and little things like that.
Right, and I think, Vince Gill is another one that's really just, I've never met the guy. I've never been that fortunate, but he just seems like a really sweetheart of a guy.
Absolutely, he is.
So, I've got to know where that confidence in yourself comes from. Is that just something that, you just don't have any fear? It's not something you have, or, how does that work for you?
Honestly, God has just blessed me with an opportunity, and I feel that, if I'm going to have the talent and the opportunity, I feel like I should share it with other people. And I guess that's where my confidence comes from. It's like, fear not, it's written 365 times in the Bible for a reason. And if you can't tell, I'm a big Christian, and I love everybody. And he's just given me the opportunity of a lifetime. And so he's like, go after it. So I've got to go after it one way or another, and I'm going to get there.
Well, you just gave me chills on the inside cover of my Bible. It says that. I think I wrote in there. It says, the Lord says, fear not 365 times in the Bible, once per day, if you think about it.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
So, yeah, that's one of the mantras I follow, too, in my life as a Christian is, basically the Lord tells you not to be afraid each and every single day. So.
Absolutely, and I think that's where my confidence comes from because, he walks with me and by my side each and every day, so, why not?
That's very, very cool. So, I was reading, I think it was a Billboard interview on you, and, I've been reading up on you here and there and listening to your music, which I love, by the way, and we'll get into that for sure here in a minute. But I understand, and I think you mentioned it a little earlier in this conversation, that your music actually led you to Tyler, Texas, which is basically where we're broadcasting from. So I would love to hear how that happened.
Well, Wilbur, Leanne Rum's dad, and him and we started working, and he introduced me to Greg Hunt down there at Rosewood Studios. And I love the guys in the gang down there, Austin and everybody. They've really made me feel welcome on my last few projects, and I think I'm about to come down there and start working with Greg Hunt a little bit more. But I love Rosewood. I'm so fond of Tyler, Texas. I love it down there, and I think that's where I capture my best sound as an artist, personally. And I just love the feel and the atmosphere, and I just love it.
Well, the next time you come through town, we'll have to meet up.
Yeah, I would love that.
Awesome. So, talking about Tyler, Texas, one of our claims to fame here close to Tyler is Lindale's own Miranda Lambert, and she actually tweeted at you about your song "In Your Arms," and she said the song gave her chills. So that had to freak you out, right? That's Miranda Lambert saying that.
Absolutely. It's not every day you get somebody to tweet you. I remember exactly where I was. I was working with my vocal coach in Chattanooga, and we were working on a song. And I like to go in the studio and pre-plan what I'm doing when I get in the studio, and so I start working on it before we even get in the studio. And we were working on it, and Miranda Lambert, I saw this tweet on my phone come through, and I was just like, what? No, that has to be like a fan page or something. So I went to my phone. I was like, oh my gosh, she actually tweeted about my song, and I was freaking out. And so, needless to say, that day ended because I was too overly excited.
I can't even imagine. I've met Miranda's parents, and that's about as close as I've ever gotten to Miranda. And love to have her on the show someday. Hopefully, if she's listening, call us.
Hey, girl.
So it's got to be cool. Not only you have this amazing artist that takes a notice for you, but it's got to be cool when you get that kind of recognition from any artist really that digs your stuff. So I know that your EP's been out for a couple of years now. I think it's called Shining Now, right?
Yes, it's called Shining Now, and it got released at Walmart 2 years ago, and we did a Walmart tour, and that was awesome. And then after the Walmart tour, we kind of regrouped, and we were like, hey, what are we going to do with the next project? And so that's obviously now. But, you know, I was on the road for 39 states, 80,000 miles, and it was such a great time, and I met so many people in radio, and, you know, honestly, I'm just ready to get back out there.
So, yeah, it's been a couple of years now, so that was going to be my question, that you must be itching to get some new stuff out there. And I know you just released a new single as well, which is just unbelievable. And I think it was written by David Lee Murphy, right?
Yes, David Lee Murphy and Rachel Farley.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. And the song is You Only Call Me When You're Drunk, which I got to tell people out there, man, this song is so catchy. And, you know, it kind of, in a way, makes me laugh because it's kind of like a 21st century love song almost.
Absolutely. I totally agree. And, you know, it's great for, I feel like it's great for women because women don't even have a song like that for them, you know. And
right.
It's a lot, and it says it in a classy way.
And I mean, it's a song you can definitely dance to. It gets your feet tapping for sure. But you're right. It's not a song that you would hear, or a subject matter that you would hear from the female side of things. So I mean, I would love to hear how this song was pitched to you and how you made it work within your style.
Yeah, well, Barry, you know, my manager, they had reached out to multiple people about, you know, finding songs for me and finding the right fit. And I'm a very sassy person anyways, if you notice by, you know, my other songs like Chocolate or whatever. And so when I came across this song, I was just like, that is just so funny. I was just like, I have to cut this song. And I had to actually fight for this song to be cut. You know, my producer was just like really iffy on it. And I was just like, come on. And finally we did it. And we both fell in love with it right when, you know, the final product was done. And so, you know, Rachel Farley and David Lee Murphy wrote it. And when I heard it, I was just like, I have to cut it. But I'll tell you who sent it to me was Michael Knox. And he's such a great guy. We've met a couple of times. And I'm just thankful the song fell in my lap. And I'm thankful that I'm the one that got to cut it.
Yeah, and I mean, David Lee Murphy's one heck of a songwriter, too. I mean, I know most folks out there have probably heard his, you know, songs from the 90s and things like that. But beyond that, he's an amazing songwriter, too.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, when you go to look for songs, what's the recipe that you're trying to find, or is there one?
I would say honestly that whenever I'm pitching songs or if I'm writing a song, it's, you know, it's whatever I'm going through in my life, and it may be a song, you know, generally that I just love in general, but usually everything that I listen to get pitched, cut, or write, it's just straight from where I'm at in my life. And a few years ago, you know, my music's grown, and I'm just hoping I can keep, you know, raising the platform every year and keep raising the bar, and you never have that finish line where you're like, okay, maybe I peaked out with my music, maybe we need to go and try something else. I want to hopefully keep doing what I'm doing because I'm definitely a traditional artist with a contemporary modern sound. Right. And I'm just hoping to keep raising the bar.
And that's a good way to put it, a traditional artist with a contemporary modern sound. I think my question for you there would be, so you're signed, I mean, to a major label in Nashville, and you have both sides of the coin with the traditional side and then the contemporary modern side. So as a major label artist, do you find a struggle in trying to, you know, maybe get heard in a certain way with the label?
I mean, absolutely. I think every artist has that struggle, though. I think that sometimes we have, you know, everybody's going to have their uphills and downhill battles. And sometimes you're not even going to have a battle. But I think everybody comes to that point where everybody just wants to know who you are as an artist. And I think that this last 2 years, I'm proving to them who I am as an artist.
Right. And I mean, I only ask that because it seems to me from the Nashville side of things, especially from the major label side, a lot of artists nowadays have to go the independent route just so that they can stay true to their craft. And I think a lot of times with the major labels, I'm not sure they listen. So that's why I wanted to ask you that.
Absolutely.
So I mean, it's cool to know that there's still artists out there on major labels that can be heard and feel confident enough to speak up about it as well.
Absolutely. I'm one of those people that, if it's something that I believe in, I'm definitely going to, push for it and fight for it. And I'm just thankful that everybody was, everybody was for this single. Everybody, Mike Curb even, he was like, I love this song. And it's just nice to have, a great team behind me that that's going to give their full 100% effort towards this single.
So are you working on a full-length album with Curb Records now?
Right now,
Yeah.
I am. Sorry, excuse me. I drank a sip of water and it didn't want to go down. But so I am working on a full-length album, but first we're going to probably release another EP.
Okay.
So yeah, that's exactly what we're working on right now.
Very cool. So, I mean, what do you think of the advantages to doing an EP first before the full-length?
I think the advantage is, you just find out who your demographics are. You find out, what's going on, if the music's working, if you're raising your bar with your music. You find out different things, and you keep your fans wanting more, I feel like, with the EP aspect. And I think it's really cool to, put a few songs out and then maybe the full length. And I know everybody waits on a full length. And, back in the 90s, that was me. I was getting every album coming out and reading the back of the CD. But unfortunately, times have changed. But I'm really liking where the music industry's headed.
Yeah, I think with social media, I think the whole instant gratification of things nowadays and the connectability between fans and artists, I guess I can kind of see the advantages of doing EP by EP by EP. It just gets the music out there quicker, I would imagine.
Absolutely.
All right, so I guess we are ready for our What the Heck segment with Rachel Holder.
Yay!
So, this is just a fun little segment that we do on our show just to kind of break up the seriousness. And I hope you're ready for these questions. Rachel Holder, are you ready for What the Heck?
Let's do it. What the heck?
All right, so tell me the first thing that just pops into your brain after I ask you each of these 5 questions.
Okay.
All right, the first one. How do you handcuff a one-armed man?
Well, how do you handcuff a one-armed man, you said?
Yes.
Shoot, I guess you have to put the other cup on yourself till you get to where you're going.
There you go. That's a good answer. All right, so why do they call the little candy bars fun size? Wouldn't it be more fun to eat a big one?
Well, you know what? I've had somebody call me fun size before because I'm short. I'm 5'2", and I was really offended by that. But I would say, I prefer, small and large rather than fun size. Because somebody was like, well, you're just fun size. And I'm like, no, I'm not.
That's awesome. All right, number 3. If a kid refuses to take a nap during nap time, are they guilty of resisting arrest?
Oh, yes. No, I'm just kidding. I'm an only child, and I have patience, but sometimes they're very little. And I think that's, a part of my dad and my mom both, too. But I have a problem, like, handling a lot of children at once. Doesn't mean I don't want a family one day. But sometimes I have to remind myself, they're just little. But, I don't think anybody, because, at least when I keep them, I know I can give them back right now, so I'm good.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm an only child, too, so we have that in common.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All right, number 4. If a bunch of cats jump on top of each other, is it still considered a dog pile?
Oh, Lord, no. No, not at all.
Would it be
I'm a dog person.
Is it a cat pile, or would it be a cat pile then?
It'd be a meow pile.
A meow pile. I like it. Very cool. All right, let's see. One more. Okay, how often, let's say, on average, how often do you hurt yourself attempting to dance in the shower?
Oh, Lord. I've slipped on some conditioner before, but thankfully I do more singing in the shower than dancing.
Very cool, very cool. All right, that was What the Heck with Rachel Holder. All
righty.
See, that was harmless.
Absolutely.
All right, so tell our listeners where folks can find you on social media and your webpage and things like that.
Yeah, you can find me at rachelholder.com, Facebook /Rachel Holder, Twitter /Rachel Holder, Instagram /Rachel Holder 1, or Snapchat as well, which is Rachel Holder 22. And be sure to tell me your story. I love hearing from people. I know that they've heard my stories, on the radio and on, when I was touring back when we were pushing my other singles and stuff. And, the one thing I learned being on those radio tours was I love to meet the fans and hear their story and what's going on in their life, because that's my inspiration as well. And I may not be going through something personally when I write, but they might inspire me to write something, So be sure to tell if you're an aspiring musician, a doctor, it doesn't matter. I'd love to hear from you.
Awesome. Now, that's what social media is so cool about, too. I mean, everybody is so approachable nowadays.
Absolutely.
So, and if people want to book you, where's the best place to do that?
You can find my manager's information on my Facebook, and you can also contact WME, which is William Morris Endeavors. My agent is Becky Gardenhire.
Okay, awesome. So, ladies and gentlemen, you guys have been listening to another amazing episode of the ETX Rock Show with the one and only Rachel Holder. Rachel, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I look forward to meeting you very soon.
So, once again, you guys have been tuning into another great episode of the ETX Rock Show. Guys, remember you can follow us out there on Facebook at the ETX Rock Show. We're at ETX Rocks on Instagram and Twitter. We're also just launched on iTunes, guys, so check us out over there as well. All of our episodes are free to download on iTunes. Always remember,
ETX Rocks.
Hey guys, I'm Katie Lynn, and make sure to tune in to ETX Rocks with
Boston Chris.
This is Aaron Watson, ETX Rocks.
ETX Rocks, Alan Fox Band.
Hey guys, we're the Morning Madhouse. I'm Carter.
I'm Brandon.
I'm Ginger.
It's the best podcast ever made in all of history.
Hi, this is Paul Bebo, and I ETX Rocks with Boston Chris Barnes. You're gonna love it.
ETX Rocks.
Hey, East Texas. DP here. ETX Rocks.
Hey, East Texas, we're Enduring House, a Christian rock band.
ETX Rocks!
Hey, this is Monte Pittman from ETX Rocks.
Hey, East Texas, Jaden Farnsworth, ETX Rocks.
Hey everybody, I'm David McCarty with the Gypsy Creek Band. As always, ETX Rocks.
Hey guys, this is Chris Colston. Thanks for tuning in to the ETX ROCKS Show.
To the ETX Rock Show.
The ETX ROCKS Show.
Ho! Hey folks, I'm WWE Hall of Famer Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and I just want to make sure you support local music.
Hi, East Texas. This is Chris Wayne.
And Crystal Clark with KYKX 1057, ETX Rocks.
Hey, East Texas, we're Lady Chaz and the Tramps. And just remember, ETX Rocks.
Hey, this is Todd Freeman of ETX Rocks with Boston Chris.
Hey, East Texas, I'm Waylon Hicks. And remember, ETX Rocks.
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is the one and only SP, El Mexicano con Estilo. Make sure to support your local music, and ETX Rocks.
Hello, we're one way home.
Hey, East Texas, this is Teaser.
Please continue to support local music.
And always remember, ETX Rocks!
Howdy folks, this is Aaron Watson. Support local music and ETX Rocks.
Hey, this is Chris Colston, and make sure you support local music
And ETX Rocks.
Hey, this is Hannah Kirby. Thanks for tuning in to the ETX ROCKS Show.
Tough guy, ho!
Covering music-related content of all genres. If it filters through Eastern Texas, it's fair game. Y'all bring it. From Texarkana down to the coast and Dallas down to Houston and everything in between. We are ETX Rocks!
Hit the brakes! Cut.